Pursuitcore is an asym game on Roblox, and when you play it, one of the characters you can choose is Mikaela. Mikaela is a Sentinel user given to you for free when you first start the game. She's the quote-unquote hard option of the starting trio, and as such has the most complicated moveset. Her first ability is Snipe. On activation, Mikaela takes aim and begins charging her rifle. While Snipe is active, the camera is shift-locked and running is disabled. You cannot be forced out of Snipe. You can hold it indefinitely, or cancel it for a 5-second cooldown. Pressing again, Mikaela fires a hit scan bullet that stuns the Terminator and knocks them back depending on how long you charge the ability for. Firing immediately is an uncharged shot, stunning for 0.5 seconds with weak knockback. Firing after 2 seconds is a charged shot, stunning for 1.5 seconds with moderate knockback. Firing after 8 seconds is an overcharged shot, stunning for 2.5 seconds with strong knockback. This also bypasses stacking debuffs. The bullet also has infinite pierce, but in exchange, Snipe does not get the reduced cooldown bonus from hitting a zombie. This move has a cooldown of 23 seconds, as well as putting Do the Do on a 10-second cooldown.
Snipe is your most important ability. A lot of your time playing Mikaela is going to be spent on learning how and when to use this move in particular. For one, it's a hit scan, which means that wherever you aim, the bullet travels instantly. And for two, it's a projectile that's not subject to gravity, which means that its range is essentially infinite. These two factors combined give Mikaela the unique ability to stun the Terminator from anywhere on the map, provided you maintain line of sight with them, i.e. you can't shoot through walls, but that should go without saying.
Intuitively, the best place for Mikaela to be is somewhere on high ground, far away from the Terminator but with plenty of open space to shoot, just like a real sniper.
The strength of Snipe's knockback makes pushing Tomies off ledges very easy to do, and this is especially the case with Overcharge Snipe. That absolutely sucks to be hit by in any situation. Because of it ignoring stacking debuffs, that means that no matter how many Mikaelas are in the round, you will always be stunned for the full 2.5 seconds, making it one of the strongest stuns in the entire game. So if you have an overcharge ready but the Tommy is not within your range, the best thing to do is most of the time just wait for the Tommy to come within range and then bang, 2.5 seconds to the head. But if there's something like, across the map away from you, then it's better just to cancel the move.
Something to note is that the sound effects that play on each level of charge are global. So the Terminator will know that your rifle is loaded and they'll be on the lookout for it. Bear that in mind.
Another thing is that the exact position you are aiming at, according to the server, is shown by this red dot, and as you can see here, there is some disparity between the dot and the reticle. Obviously this gets worse the more ping you have. Her second ability is Do the Do. Mikaela drinks a can of Mountain Dew and enters a supercharged state, as shown by this green electricity. Snipe goes on a brief 2-second cooldown. While in this state, using Snipe will charge it instantly, but it will not overcharge. The ability lasts for 16 seconds or until Snipe is used. If it wears off naturally, it will go on full cooldown while Snipe resets and begins charging normally. This ability has a cooldown of 30 seconds.
You mainly want to use this ability when you want to stun but don't have the time to charge up your Snipe. For example, when the Tommy switches to you, or when the Tommy is chasing someone else and there's no one nearby to help. However, its cooldown of 30 seconds is quite long compared to most other abilities, so this is not a move that you're going to be using often. You have to pick and choose when to do the do and when to don't do.
As you can see here, Scaff is currently fleeing from the Tommy, so he chooses now to use it.
Interestingly enough, the global sound effect that's normally played while charging Snipe is completely removed when Do is active, so the stealth game is an option, but whether or not it's the appropriate choice for the situation is up to you to decide.
Her third ability is Smokebomb. Mikaela deploys a smoke bomb that creates a smoke screen which lingers for about 10 seconds. She gains invisibility and undetectable for 3 seconds, and during those 3 seconds she crouches to move, so her movement speed is slowed and she cannot jump. The invisibility makes her nearly fully transparent, however particle effects are unaffected. This includes the magnetized debuff, the electricity from Do the Do, and bloodstains from taking damage. The undetectable status effect makes it so that Mikaela cannot be highlighted by ESP abilities while it is active. However, unlike Noob's Ghostburger and Forsaken, it does not remove highlights that have already been applied. This ability has a cooldown of 34 seconds.
This is a brave blast in case of emergency kind of ability. If the Terminator is coming to you and you have no other options, nowhere else to go, and no one to help you, then this is your last resort. The sole purpose of Smokebomb is to slip away quietly and prevent yourself from being backed into a corner. You can achieve this either by deploying evasive maneuvers to confuse the Termy,
Successfully escape chase, there we go.
or hiding somewhere and waiting for the task.
The invisibility lasts for as long as Mikaela's body is outlined in white, so use that to gauge how much time you have before you unshroud and what you can do in that time. A very common mistake that I've seen a ton of people make is using Smokebomb while Do is active. Don't do this! As I've just said, particle effects don't disappear on activation, so the Termy can still see exactly where you are. You're basically just handing yourself over to them on a civil platter. But as for fuel, if Mikaela's carrying any fuel on her back, she instantly drops it on activation, so you don't have to worry about that.
Furthermore, don't use your smoke bomb if the Tommy has recently used their ESP ability. Most of them have pretty obvious tells for when they do this, so all you have to do is just pay attention. And of course, don't get hit.
He still hit me, he still hit me, he still hit me, he still hit. Oh dear.
Mikaela currently doesn't have an LMS buff. She does have a stacking debuff, where for every extra Mikaela alive, her stuns decrease in duration by 0.125 seconds. Since overcharges ignore this, all you have to do is stay out of chase and you can basically completely forget about it.
This is Zombie Mikaela, or Zikaela for short. She has the standard zombie M1 like all others, but I've already explained this in the Dante video, so I won't repeat myself here. I will say though, for whatever reason, hers doesn't have an animation. Her ability is Accurate Dew. Zikaela throws a can of weird Mountain Dew towards the cursor, creating a puddle that lingers on the ground for about 8 seconds. Stepping in it deals roughly 8 temp damage per second. This ability has a cooldown of 17 seconds.
Your first instinct might be to throw the can like it's a ranged attack, but you're not going to deal much temp damage that way. The intended use is as a trap. As you can see here, I throw the can at the base of the stairs, effectively cutting off that pathway. The attack 9 is now forced to either walk through the puddle, try and juke me, or try and juke the Termi.
And now for the skins.
Okay, final thoughts on Mikaela, here we go. Her MS4 was one of the most annoying to grind, I'll just start by saying that. Mainly because of a bug that exists in this game where for whatever reason, ranged abilities, it doesn't allow you to shoot and move at the same time. It gives severe input delay whenever I try to do that, and I don't know why it happened. Because literally what I had to do was like stop moving, shoot, and then stop moving again every time I wanted to shoot, just to be able to shoot when I wanted to. So it was super frustrating, but I don't think that really counts as an opinion on Mikaela, so I digress. Mikaela as a backline sentinel is really good at what she does. If you let her set up, if you just leave her alone and leave her to her own devices, she is a menace. She's a huge threat, and you will be feeling the effect of those 2.5 second stuns. But as soon as you catch her in chase, then she's kind of screwed. Well, I mean, she has two different chase escape tools, the Dew and the Smokebomb, but for one, Dew relies on her not having used her Snipe beforehand, and two, both those tools have very long cooldowns, so if you mess up and you don't get as much distance from the Termi as you would like, then you're kind of dead. You're gonna have to hope that someone else is there to help you, otherwise you're as good as down. And yeah, so the Smokebomb in particular is a pretty good tool for stimming chase, or at the very least making good distance. But it really depends on your positioning. If you're not able to confuse the Termi effectively and move in a way that they don't expect, then they will catch up back. They will catch back up to you pretty easily. So she kind of gets punished pretty hard for getting caught in chase and not being able to escape it equally as quickly. But aside from that, majority of the time, I won't lie, but a lot of my time playing Mikaela was spent just kind of sitting around and doing nothing. Like, apart from doing fuel, obviously, and, finding a good place to set up, she doesn't really do much. Like, most of the time, you're kind of just waiting for the Termi to come within your sights, and that doesn't really happen very often, because Mikaela is kind of forced to stick around in open areas of the map. She doesn't really do well in places with a lot of walls and a lot of obstacles, again, because, you need line of sight in order to be able to effectively shoot. Which means she doesn't really have very good flexibility. She's not as she's not able to adapt to any situation like Dante is. She's only really made to do what she's designed to do, if that makes sense. Because yeah, the few times she's able to shoot, she's very good at it. But in any other situation, she's just meh. So she's a very average character overall. I'm sure there's fringe cases of certain Mikaela mains who are super good at her and are able to use her in any situation, and that's good for you if you're one of those people, but again, that's it. Those are fringe cases for most people, and I'm talking about, by that I mean most people who are at least above average in terms of skill, and who have decent game sense. most people are not really going to be able to use her very often. They'll be able to contribute to the round at least some of the time, but only about like 25% of the round they'll be doing something, and 75% will just be like, doing fuel and then just sitting and waiting. So for that reason, I think she's a very mid character overall. She's good at what she does, but she's not really good at much else. And that means that like she's only really a viable choice for enthusiasts who really like her character.